Hi, guys. Welcome back to another episode of the Blondest Podcast. I'm your host, Savanna Boda, and today I have a very exciting episode for you guys and two amazing guests. We have today Heather and Trish. Do you go by Trish or Trisha?
I go by Trish.
Okay, good. Trish. And she is going to both of them are going to be here today to talk to us about some exciting things that have been under wraps for the last, year?
Yeah.
I think so, because it was last September when we met.
Mm-hmm.
I took them to my favorite restaurant.
It's been a year.
Yeah. It feels like yesterday.
It
takes
does.
time,
Yes, they do.
Yeah. But it's been fun.
It's been fun.
It's been a lot of exciting developments happening.
Absolutely. Mm-hmm. So should you tell people who you are?
Yes. Introduce yourselves.
Yes. So I am Trish Boland. I am the Vice President of Research and Development and Quality at Colorescience.
And I'm Heather Goodchild. I'm the Vice President of Professional Business at Colorescience.
Our VPs.
We
love it.
and besties, too.
I know.
So,
I love that y'all are best friends. It's like me and Tyler, but you guys.
Yes.
It's amazing.
Yeah.
I love it. So tell us a little bit about your backstory history with the brand, and then we'll dive into all the exciting things.
Yeah.
You want me to start?
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah. So I joined Colorescience about 12 years ago. I, before that, had a career in beauty, but on the makeup artist side. So I worked really closely with Laura Mercier and was part of that product development team for about 8 years. And so from there, I made the segue over to Colorescience, and same thing, have been focusing on product development. But I joined Colorescience at a really fun time because the brand at one time was very focused on makeup that does more. And we saw an opportunity to focus more on the science of treatments and sun protection. That was still a part of it, but to create 3-in-1 multifunctional products, starting with Even Up and then All Calm and Total Eye. And we saw that there was just this need to have products that are working for you, that are treating as you're protecting and then giving you that immediate correction. So it's just been so much fun being part of this era of Colorescience, and then getting to work, cross-functionally with Heather and with our marketing team and just so many people to bring these things to life, including you, and other professional partners that we have. It's just, I love my job.
I love it.
I can't imagine
doing
anything
You do it so
else.
well. I mean, seriously, amazing.
The
Thank
best.
you. Thank you.
The best. She's a master in minerals, iron oxide formulations, how to make peptides work even better.
Yeah. And those are the two hardest things I hear.
Yeah.
I mean, a lot of companies that I work closely with, and I'm very lucky to be able to hear inside scoop, they're all like, sunscreen is the hardest thing to make and the most expensive. So you guys being able to do it well and have a good price point is honestly crazy.
It's hard. There are lots of challenges.
Everyone's like, I don't know how y'all do it. I've heard other companies say that. They're like, I don't know how Colorescience does it, because it's so hard for people to make a mineral sunscreen that can work on darker Fitzpatrick's, and you guys did that.
It's been a labor of love.
Yeah.
It's been something that we have taken very seriously, and we have friends that are darker Fitzpatrick skin types. We have people in our daily lives, and it's hard when your life's work is to create products that are going to be good for people, but not everyone can use it. And so it's definitely been a labor of love, and it takes time, different iterations, different prototypes, different things, because you can't compromise also the way that it wears.
Exactly.
You can't have a great product and, it's the right shade, but it doesn't wear well. So there are lots of things to keep.
And Colorescience has all of our own in-house formula. That's not something we outsource, right? Everything from product ideation to development to, it's not like we're going to another contract manufacturer and saying, hey, we'd like to make this. Can you make it for us? And see what you come up with? It's all our R&D team.
We have really detailed, we spend a lot of time with our innovation team creating product briefs and identifying who that end user is and how many shades can this be, but also keeping in mind that your practice isn't necessarily a Sephora.
87
right,
shades.
Exactly.
Right. So
that's so hard, because we carry the Oxygenetics Foundation, and it's they have like 40 different shades. And I'm like, one, we don't have the space. Two, it's like not everyone's going to, it's one of those things. It's hard.
And not everyone can color match. That's a tough thing to do.
Oh, yeah.
So
I can't. I'm colorblind. Like anytime someone comes in and asks me to color match, I'm like, you don't want me. You want Sierra.
Yeah.
She's so good at it.
Yeah.
I'm like, I can even like people will always really expand that. That's not your shade or like whatever foundation. I'm like, I'm like colorblind. I swear when it comes to other people and myself, I just can't do it.
It's hard. It's hard. It's hard. Lighting is hard.
Lighting changes.
Yes.
Everything changes.
Yeah. But it takes a while, but it has been something that, if you say, I believe in mineral sunscreen because it's great for sensitive skins, it's great for skin concerns, it's great for, all of these different things, it has to be accessible to everyone. It has to be something everyone can wear. So
and wants to wear every day.
Yeah.
I love one of the things I quote Trish all the time on is she says, I make products. She never says I. She says we. We make products that people want to love to live their everyday in. And I think that
you have to want to live in it. You have. It's not enough to.
It's not like a special occasion thing because it's so complicated to use and it can't go with you.
You look forward to doing it.
Yeah. Or we're in the industry and there's this sort of beauty junkie or skincare junkie in all of us that is so excited to try something new. But I don't want it to be something that you try because you saw it on TikTok and then you tried it once and you don't try it again. I want it to be something that you go, this is my desert island product. I cannot live without this product. It's part of my everyday life. I mean, you have to also have, I think, that trust. That's gaining trust with our consumers and users and partners.
I love that.
For sure.
That's amazing. And then Heather, tell us your story.
So I grew up in dermatology. When I was in college, I started off in working alongside a dermatologist, and we were talking about how old we are. That's back in the day before like med spas were a thing and Botox was like just coming to market. Yeah. Right. Like, no, you didn't talk about it.
No one did it.
Nobody did it, right?
I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah, exactly.
And just my skincare cream froze my whole forehead.
Right. Well, and in so many places just didn't even have skincare. So it was sort of innovated that this dermatologist had an esthetician and that we did other things. And that was a great entry. And I spent about 6 years there and then spent a little bit of time in pharmaceuticals focused on acne and then went over to a company called SkinMedica. Yeah. And then SkinMedica acquired Colorescience. And now here I am little over 10 years later with Colorescience. And I think it's been fun really being part of the team,
so much fun.
Transforming the brand, really becoming more, not just makeup that does more, but more. And I think people are looking for multifunctional things anymore.
I do. I agree.
I love a good 20-step regimen, but there's so many people who won't do that and they won't get their SPF on every day. And
or they won't be consistent with it.
Yeah.
So at least having... Because I love all the steps too, but there are days, especially running around, you're a mom, you're working full time, you've got, and so being able to know I can par it down to these things and still get the benefits is, But Heather also isn't, I'm going to brag on her for a minute because she's not going to tell you. And when it comes to innovation, Heather is such a big part of how we innovate because that background that she has working in dermatology and being an esthetician, she is one of you. Yeah. And she is able to bring it to, like, we have the product piece and the ingredients, but we can really talk about the biological functions of the
what
skin.
Are we going to go address?
What are we really doing? Like, it's fine to say peptide, but if you're not targeting the right peptides that are upregulating or downregulating the right biological functions, who cares? Yeah. And so it very much is a collaborative piece where Heather brings that expertise and know-how. We have obviously other great departments and, our marketing team and everybody brings great stuff to the process. But having that in-house.
So huge.
Huge.
Yeah.
Huge.
I love that. Well, you guys are truly so amazing, and I'm just so honored to be sitting here with you both. Like,
you are the ones who are honored.
No, but it's just so cool to see, you guys are just so genuine, kind, and just truly believe in what you do. And I think for me, when I work with companies or even carry them in my clinic, like that's so important to me that, the people I'm working with are good people, ethical, results driven, and care. And you guys are all of those things and then some. So I just am really appreciative.
I feel that when we got to meet you about a year ago in person, we sat down, we had dinner. And Trish, I remember this, like Trish and I kind of looked at each other, we smiled a little bit, and we were like, okay, we know we want to do something with Savanna because there's such an aligned shared core values of how we think about our businesses, our brands, and really why we're doing what we're doing in the first place. So for us, this has been one of my favorite projects that we've done.
For sure.
It's the only one I've ever done, and it's also my favorite. It's just crazy. Like you see all of these, it's different industries, right? With different makeup brands and stuff that collaborate with influencers and all of that. And it's so cool to see that. And I've always been like, oh my gosh, it'd be so amazing to have that opportunity. But I'm like, I'm not in that world. And so when you guys came to me with this, I was like, yes, I didn't even hesitate.
Yeah. I think we decided at dinner, we're like, we're doing this.
We're going to do it.
We're doing this.
The funny thing is, though, it's not really funny, but the truth is a lot of people say stuff and then it never ends up happening. I've had that happen a million times in this industry. So for you guys to say it and truly mean
right
it.
on it.
Yeah. Like what we're talking about?
Yeah, it's a little secret, but I think you guys should tell them.
Okay. So we have an amazing product called Lip Shine. And it's, as Trish has designed all of our products, it does more. So it hydrates, it nourishes. There's peptides in there that help it's not a lip plumper where there's something that's going to irritate the lips and then it's going to plump as a result of that. But the collagen is helping to build. So there's long-term, improvement in the fullness of the lips. And it's an SPF. And so while we were sitting at dinner, we were talking.
HA,
keep going. Yeah, I'm missing vitamin E.
But it is part of, it could just be a lip gloss, right?
Yeah.
And we could have said, we threw some SPF in this but we try to be very purposeful and very thoughtful when we're using these different ingredients. And so one of the things we know about researching peptides is peptides do better when they're in a hydrated environment. And so you can, put a peptide in a formula, but if it's not also helping to give hydration, then the peptide can't work at its best.
And if it's not in a concentration that matters. If it's not along with other things that are going to help it deliver where,
right.
That's the thing people don't think about. And I talk about this all the time. It's not just the ingredient. Because anyone can throw a peptide in a product. It's the delivery system.
And
it's
concentration.
How it works.
Yeah.
And sourcing. That's
other
the other
ingredients that you're adding in with it.
That you can buy a grilled chicken from Walmart, or chicken breast from Walmart or Central Market. And it's they're both chicken breasts, but one's going to be a higher quality than the other, So I think that's something that is so important for consumers to know. And I feel like I have this conversation every day. And it's because I wouldn't have known that or thought about that. But then when you say it out loud and you say it to someone, it's clicks and they're like, oh, that makes sense that it is different and can sound the same. Just Taco Bell versus Media.
Right.
It's we're still nachos, but a higher quality nacho.
Yeah.
Totally. Yes.
Better ingredients.
Sourcing matters, right?
And all the downstream effects on not just the taste, but all the other elements of how it's going to react in your body too.
Exactly.
But Trish has a saying, and I think it's great because it goes along with what Savanna's talking about. And she is grilled this into our team's head, which is she never blesses the tank. And so maybe you share what that means, because it's so amazing how many people, even in skincare industry, don't necessarily connect.
Yeah.
It really just means when we're searching for ingredients, and our R&D team does such a brilliant job at this and has so many wonderful connections within the industry. But when we are searching for an ingredient, we're looking for something that has great clinical efficacy on its own. And we're looking to see, just like you're saying, where is it sourced? What concentration does it have to be used in? If it has to be used in a 5% concentration to prove certain benefits, but you sprinkle it in there, that's what I call blessing the tank. You sprinkle it in there at 0.5%, it's misleading. It's not doing it right. It's not doing what it's doing. So we are very purposeful about looking at those clinicals and understanding what ingredients does it work well with, what is it maybe incompatible with, but making sure that we're putting it in at those recommended use levels, and then obviously do a lot of clinical testing ourselves. But this one we're super excited about because we are reigniting it, should we say. We're taking the formula and we've juiced the amount of peptide in it. So it was already in there at a recommended use level, but we have bumped that up and created a new shade that we are so excited about. So this shade is called Savanna.
Yes.
Named after our lovely friend.
It's so crazy.
I think we should talk about that process, though, because we spent a good amount of time thinking through what do we name it, what should the shade be, and maybe talk a little bit about the shade because there's so much. The product's amazing, but there's so much meaning and heart behind how the shade came about, the name behind it. Yeah.
So when we were sitting at Media this time last year, I remember, talking about just, how much I love the brand, everything y'all believed in, and just feeling good in your own skin. I think that's the biggest thing. And, if I look back at my text, I think my favorite message, and I get this all the time, is I just left the house today with, a tinted sunscreen on, and I feel so beautiful, so confident, or I'm just wearing, sunscreen makeup or whatever it is, and it just truly lets their genuine self shine, and it just enhances your beauty. It's not, taking covering away or covering. It's just wearing you, And so when you guys came to me with this, I was obviously so excited. And at first I thought I wanted to do like a magenta, more colored like that. I was like, what do they not have? What do they need? And after we tested that one, I was like, okay, I don't think I'm in love with this. I think what I love is like something that's very neutral, not shimmery, and just natural, and just something that every person can wear, whether they're going to the gym or they're going to walk their dog or drop their kid off, and feel protected, and just enhancing their natural beauty and making them feel more confident and comfortable in their own skin. So we went with like a really natural tannish nude color.
It's beautiful.
And it is everything I dreamed of and more. But the funny thing about it was I didn't know you guys put more peptide in it.
Yeah.
So I was like, am I biased because it's my shade? But I was like, my lips feel more hydrated. They're juicier. I'm like, there's something different. And I didn't even know till 3-4 weeks ago that there was more peptides added. And I'm obsessed with it. And truly, when people wear this shade, what I want them to feel is just that they can be themselves. They can tackle the day head on, feel confident, and, have that enhancement to make you walk in the room and feel empowered.
Our CEO, Mary Fisher, calls that chin up moment, because so many times as women, when you're walking out of a clinic and you've just had something done, there's this chin down because you don't want anybody to see that you've had, and your skin's uncomfortable. But it doesn't just happen in the clinic post-procedure. It happens in life too, when women have that chin down moment. So I love that the whole heart behind this is a shade that can feel good, and everybody has that chin up moment to face the day. And we're big on no compromises, right?
Yes.
So there's no dyes in here. Yep. There's no bad for you stuff in here. Only good for you stuff that makes your lips feel great. The color, this is my favorite.
I wear that at nighttime. Okay, lights out, it's dark. I'm wearing my Colorescience lip shine, always. It's so funny because my husband will make fun of me. He's like, "Why are you wearing sunscreen? It's 8 p.m." And I'm like, because it's pretty and it looks good, and that's the thing.
It looks good. It feels good.
Yes, and I think people, when you hear sunscreen, it's boring. People are like, oh, it's something that people don't want to buy, right? Yeah. It's the most important thing for them to buy, but it's the one thing that is pulling teeth. Yes. And ever since we brought Colorescience onto my practice, people are not being like, oh, I have to buy, sunscreen. You're going to make me buy sunscreen before you do microneedling or before you do XYZ. They're excited about it, and they want everything, not just a face sunscreen. They want, the concealer, they want the lips, they want the blush. I mean, everything. And so I think it's so important because sunscreen is truly the most important thing in skincare.
It is.
That you guys have created a brand and, you know, have something that people look forward to putting on.
Yes.
And it's not a chore of like, you know what I mean? Like it's something you're excited. Like it's the step you're ready to do. Like at all my steps, like I'm always so excited to do my sunscreen makeup every day.
This makes you feel better. And
it does.
This is very special to me too, because when I first joined the brand, like I said, like a decade ago, we were doing some market research, and at that time, my daughter was 6.
Wow.
And it just hit me because some of the market research we saw was that a girl's first beauty product was a makeup product, and it was typically a lip product or a mascara, were typically the first 2 things. And I just had this, like, I was like, okay, team, my BHAG is that we start to change it where a young girl, instead of picking something because she feels like she's not good enough and has to, like, do something different, she gets something because it's healthy for her and it's good for her, and like she's doing it because it's the right thing for her, not because she's trying to change herself or she's not good enough. And so I love that our brand, and especially a product like this, hits home. And as Trisha's daughter Fiona is sitting and watching this, so, you know, it's so meaningful that we have a product that can do that, and it's a shade that's appropriate.
Yes, for everyone.
Yes.
Yeah,
and that was a big deal when we were
huge.
talking about this. You said, I want it to be a neutral, but I want it to work on everyone. I want it to look beautiful on everyone, regardless of undertone or skin tone or depth.
And it really adapts to you. Like I came in and I had no idea that it came in because I'm always like rolling in later than my team. Tyler's over there like, but I came in and I was like, oh my gosh, everyone's lips look different, but like in the same vein, but just like it just adapted to their skin. Like it was crazy because we have so many different skin tones at my clinic. And so seeing, of course, Tyler didn't wear it, but seeing everyone just wear it and it just like adapted to them. Like it was one of those things. It
was true to them.
Yes. It wasn't like, you know, a lot of like, you know, coral looks the same on everyone or champagne actually is a little different because of the skin tone with that. But this one like truly does adapt to like what you need it to be. So it complements you. And I just think it is the coolest thing. And just special to me because, you know, my entire life had always tried to like morph into what people wanted me to be. I grew up very, you know, insecure in who Savanna was because I, from a very young age, was told like, oh, she's too loud, like she's too much, like, you know, my mom would tell me, you put a target on your back, you draw too much attention to yourself, you're too talkative, you're too friendly, you're too all these things. And at the time, of course, she was trying to protect me and, you know, help dim the light in a healthy way. But I think it, you know, wasn't just her. I mean, I had dance teachers. I mean, everyone was just like, Savanna's a lot. Like that was like the word that came to your mind was Savanna is just a whole bunch, you know? And so you either loved me or hated me. And I think I just learned to like really mask my truest self and then be, you know, if I was around a friend group or I was around like whoever it was, like I would just kind of morph into what they wanted or what they needed.
Adapt to what you thought they wanted you to be.
And I lost so much of myself. And, you know, I became really depressed and I was like, I don't know what Savanna is. Like I remember, you know, being like, I don't even know my favorite color. I don't know this. Like I just have, you know, pulled so many things from, you know, culture and things around me and magazines and all of this that like I felt so confused. And I think that's such a hard thing when you're growing up and you're trying to figure out who you are as a person. And, you know, a lot of the social media or TV or books you read or your parents and people you're around really influence who you are. And you kind of like waters you down quite a bit, you know, and you don't really realize it, that you're adapting other people's beliefs. So being able to grow and, you know, find that time in my life where I was like, what if I'm just 100% me? And I just don't care.
And unapologetic for it.
I don't care if, you know, the jeans I'm wearing aren't what's hot right now. Or, you know, I don't care if I'm listening to music that, you know, like 80s or whatever it is that like other people are like, oh, you're listening to that. You know, like I stopped caring. And that's when my business took off. Because I was started to feel confident. It wasn't
and you gave yourself freedom.
It wasn't
to be who you
It was
were.
authentic.
Because you know, I would have my like I call it my server voice because when I used to wait tables, you know, like it was just so you know being what I thought people wanted to see. And once I started just really living in my truth and just being Savanna, like it was hard, of course, because I feel like, you know, when you aren't 100% you and someone doesn't like you, you're like, oh, that's fine because it's not really me.
Yeah.
So like, doesn't really hurt. But when you show up and put everything on the table and it's just raw,
and they still
it's so scary, you know, because then you're like, well, you know, but for me, the positive impact it has had from being 100% Savanna and just laying it all out there outweighs the negativity.
What was the flip switch moment? And I'm asking because my daughter's 16 and I think she's struggling. I know she's struggling through a lot of those things. Yeah. And I'm wondering, like,
they struggle through them at
12. It starts at, I think it starts at like 9, 10, 12, really. And then it really amplifies 12 through 16, I think.
Yeah.
But what was that moment for you where you just were like, okay, enough's enough. I'm just going to give in and I'm going to be me and I'm not going to apologize for it. And
it's so crazy because I think, it was just a buildup of like my whole life. I would always put roadblocks in my way. And I was always like cock blocking myself.
You were self-sabotaging.
It was self-sabotaging. I mean, any relationship I was in, like I would just start telling like outlandish, like personal deep stories about me to like make them not like me because I was so afraid of being loved. And then, if I was trying to exercise or work out, like I would always like go home and then eat something horrible so that when I weighed myself the next morning, I wouldn't be like upset because I'd be like, oh, it's because I ate XYZ last night. Yeah. If I didn't eat that, like I totally would be the number I wanted to be. Or, if I didn't study 100% on a test and I didn't do as good as I wanted to, at least like I had that to fall back. Like, oh, I didn't study.
It was a reason.
So it was always an excuse of why. And I was like, I am literally standing in my own way. There's nobody else that is standing in my way besides me. And I was just so sick of getting the short end of the stick. And I was so sick of just living my life the way I was with no direction, with no clarity. And so I was like, you know what? Why don't we just try to do it the opposite way and just be 100% Savanna, and at least we can say we tried, and just give everything my all. I think I just got so fed up with my toxic patterns, and I was like, you're old. You're
like sick of yourself,
19, 20. Yeah. But I was like, I was just like, you've lived your life trying to be perfect and you still are losing. Yeah. And I think that's what it was. It's like, even though I was doing all these things to protect myself, I was still not winning at life. I wasn't being who I wanted to be. I wasn't Savanna. And I think the biggest part was when I became a business owner, I was like, okay, like this is all on me. Yeah. And also same to that vein was the kind of people I was attracting into my business. I wanted to attract people that were like me, and like similar. And I was like, the only way to do that is to be you, right?
Right.
And then the biggest thing I think for me that made the switch was I was following a girl on Instagram who looked like she had everything together, like avocado toast in the morning. She had a golden doodle. Like she drank bone broth. Like she went to Pilates and da-da-da-da-da. And then one day she showed up on her page and she was like, I have severe anxiety and depression, blah, 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 blah. And was just talking about that. And I was like, oh my gosh, someone that can have this appearance and like have their life can also struggle. Because for me, I was like, oh, I'll never be able to be like that because I have depression and anxiety. And she doesn't have mental struggles. So like, of course, her life's great and she's able to accomplish her wildest dreams. So when she took that curtain down and really showed that like she struggled as well, it really inspired me. And I was like, you know what? I can share that too. Like that's something I don't need to be ashamed about. And so something that's sometimes gotten me in trouble because I say too much sometimes and share too much. But just being genuine about stuff and honest about what I struggle with. I've had so many girls say, you know what, Savanna, I have severe depression and anxiety and I opened a business because you did it. And so
it's empowering.
It is.
Yeah. Your vulnerability is empowering.
Yeah. Yes. And at that time in the industry, everyone was so like, I'm booked and busy. Everything's perfect. Like life is great. And it was just rainbows and butterflies. And I was like, you know what? No, it's not easy. It's not this. It's not that. And I think, without it being negative, it's just true. I mean, every day is not a good day. Every moment of your life is not going to be perfect. There's going to be ups. There's going to be downs. And I just knew if I ever got to the level that girl did, I wanted to make sure that the young girls that were following me knew that, like, I don't have it all together.
Right.
Sometimes I don't know what the heck I'm doing. Like I cry, like I get depressed, but you know what? I can still do it because you have that power within you.
Yeah.
And so for me,
and the courage to show up anyway. I think that's what
even
it is.
when things
it's
are
the
messy.
Courage to just show up anyway.
And I always tell people like me so much more when I wake up with my hair not brushed and when I'm, just raw and genuine, because you're not perfect 24/7. You don't look runway ready 24/7. Your business is not perfect every single day. And I think just releasing that veil that everyone thinks is this perfect life, of course you can show the good times, but I think it's more important to show the bad times because that's...
And then it's normal.
Yeah.
It's normal.
And it's more relatable.
Because you think, Kim Kardashian or this celebrity that you watch, like, oh, they've never struggled a day in their life. They've never gone through, like, not wanting to be alive or,
Yeah.
And it's just because they don't want you to see that. It's a highlight reel. But it's important, I think, for every single person that has a platform to be genuine and honest, because young girls are looking up to them. I know I did, and it, affected me very negatively to see that kind of stuff, because you sit there and you compare yourself and you're like, well, if I didn't have this, wrong with me, or if I had, whatever it was, like, then I could be that way. But it's not true, because deep down, like, everyone has something that they're dealing with.
And we make it up in our heads, right?
Yeah.
We put this, we put someone on a pedestal because of their hair, or because they are eating so well, or and we assign value to these things that really you could sort of go, is it that important to me? Or am I assigning value to it just to make myself feel bad that I'm not doing all of those things?
Yeah.
And I think going back to that first meeting, I don't want to, but I am going to speak for you, because I think we're on the same page, is I think when Heather and I met you, there was that vulnerability that we could sit down and have a conversation over chips and salsa and margaritas and just have an honest conversation about some of the struggles, about the struggles that we've had with acne or hyperpigmentation.
I love that you said that.
Or what
it's a lot of stuff, in the beauty industry too. It can be so superficial and just very small talk, and it's not deep. And something I loved about you guys is that, like, you just made me feel so comfortable, and like you guys were so vulnerable with me as well, that we like didn't have this expectation of like perfection and like, or just like, oh, like the sky is blue, like we really talked deep about things. That's something that's so important to me, is I can't stand having small talk conversations. Like, I want to know, I want to know what you did to get to where you are today. And I think the more we have those conversations and the more open we are, the more people we can affect in a positive way, And I mean, anytime I've ever struggled or talked about my struggles, it's impacted more people than with me just posting my favorite cleanser.
Right.
It just shows, that we all go through something.
Yes.
And, it's important to show that and share that, especially with how social media is shaping young women these days.
Well, it's interesting too, because Trish and I were talking in the car, and I think you have, you're making a big impact on those younger than you. Those are the same age as you, but you're also making an impact on those who are 15, 20 years older than you too, because we were both talking about how, I was like, I've got to tell her that we share some of these same things, but we both had a moment in hearing you and watching you and talking with you where we saw a bit of our younger selves in you. You know what I mean? And it was meaningful.
But I also wasn't as confident. I hadn't found what you have found until much later.
Yeah. And that's hard, because I feel like that is such a big thing. Like, I always say I'm so grateful that I found my purpose and everything, so young, because I mean, my mom recently just found like her calling, and it's so beautiful to see. So she just loves to rehabilitate like animals and all of that. She's so good at it too. She has such a big heart. Yeah, you would love her. Yeah. But that is the thing, is like so many people wander through life and they don't find their thing until later. And that's okay. Everyone's on a different path. Some people find it when they're 5 years old, some 10, 20, some, maybe in their 80s, figure out what they love and what is true to them. But I think the more you live in your truth, the more you attract things that are for you. Because how can you attract things that are for you when you're not living your most authentic life? You have to truly embody who you are, and then these things just start to flow.
That's right.
And start to come to you, but it starts with you, You have to just live in your truth and who you are, and you're not going to be perfect, and that's okay. And I think that's what's so beautiful, is that you are imperfect. We are all imperfect beings, and being okay with that and sharing that is so powerful.
I agree. And I think it's amazing to create a shade that like embodies all of that, I mean, there's so much more than just.
And that was what I wanted. I just wanted it to be something that you can grab and not think about what color you're wearing or what outfit, you have on. Like, it's just.
It goes with everything.
It goes with you. It goes with you. I mean, it's you. It's you in a shade. And so when people wear Savanna, I don't want them to see the name Savanna. I want them to see the name Trish. I want them to see the name Heather. The name Tyler. Tyler won't wear it, but you know what I mean? Like, I want them to feel themselves in it, and just being able to have that extra boost of confidence. Like, it's like your little pocket BFF that, like, when you put it on, mentally you're like, I'm in bad bitch mode. I am me. I'm ready to take on the world. Yes.
Yep.
And that's really what this shade is. And then I loved the play on words with it too, because we didn't know, guys, what we were going to name it. We had no idea. We knew we were doing a color.
We
really did go through the whole exercise.
Like it wasn't, and like when they were like, how would you feel if we named it Savanna? I was like secretly dying inside. I'm like, oh my God, to have a color named after me is insane and crazy, because I thought we were going to go with like slay or like we had a bunch of like nude kind of colors that we were going with, like taupe and things like that. And like it was like unanimous, is that the word?
Yes.
Everyone wanted Savanna, and I was like, I'm not going to say no if you guys want to name it Savanna. But I love too is that, Savanna in Africa is like, very like neutral palette, like safari kind of vibes. And so there are just so many signs, and I'm big on signs, so many different signs that just led it to that name. And I'm just, I could cry. It's just, I don't think it's really hit me yet. Like I was telling Tyler yesterday at the shoot, I was like, I feel like I'm a bystander watching this all happen. Like I don't think I've really understood that this is in. That I literally have something named after me that I did.
This is the first time we've ever done it as a brand too.
It's insane.
Yeah. And I'm
so honored.
Just named out, it was we went back and forth on shading and sending samples.
Which was so fun.
It's so fun. And I think the reason it works so well too is like we did warm and cool. Right. We found a way to kind of get all that in there.
I love how it's just so neutral, pulls so neutral on everyone. It's great.
Yeah, it does.
It's beautiful. It's my I think I texted you. I haven't worn a different shades since I got the first
so
lab
many people
sample.
Have said this is my favorite. This is my favorite.
I'll have a little tip for you guys. Okay.
Yes.
So the Anastasia Beverly Hills lip liner in the shade Deep Taupe.
Okay.
Goes well with it. Perfect.
It's literally the most perfect thing in the world.
Okay. I have to go find it.
I know. We can run to Sephora after this.
Because you're an anywhere caffeine girl too,
I love
right?
Anywhere caffeine.
And I love that one too. That's one of my, I live in that one.
That looks good with it as well. Or Whenever Walnut looks so good from Makeup Forever.
Yep. Okay.
And then color bomb wise, blush as lipstick.
Yes.
With Savanna on top.
Perfect.
Oh, yeah.
Stunning.
So pretty.
I love my sunscreen lips. And
exactly.
I just want to touch on too, like the biggest question I get or feedback, people are like, I was so scared to use a sunscreen lip product because they thought it would smell like sunscreen, it's going to taste like
weird.
sunscreen, or it's going to be like gritty and like not smooth. I mean, you wouldn't even know. If you put it in a different package, no one would ever know there was sunscreen in the product. And I think that's what's so important is that why would you reach for another product if you can get no compromises? You can get the color, you can get what you need, and have the sunscreen and have all of those other added benefits. Like it's just a no-brainer. It's a win-win-win all around.
And it's all iron oxides too. So, now we've, as our understanding of the light spectrum is advanced, we go, oh gosh, blue light is, we got to protect our skin from that too. And so to have the iron oxides that are protecting from blue light as well, and no dyes. It's all minerals, no chemical, no chemical filters in there.
But it goes back to what you said a little earlier when you were talking about all of the things that we feel like we have to do or that we have to be, right? And this isn't just women, but it's all the things, am I hydrating? Am I using a good moisturizer? Am I treating my skin? Am I wearing my SPF? And to your point, like, most people don't think SPF is sexy.
No.
It's this thing I have to do. It's this thing I have to do because someone told me I have to do it. But, I like my tan or I like this.
But if I could get away with it, I wouldn't, right?
If I could get away with it, I wouldn't. And so that is part of this product. It's part of so many products because this is sexy.
It is sexy.
And, you're getting the treatment benefit. You're getting the SPF benefit. And so many of our products, right? Flex, the brush, all of these things, I don't want to say it's tricky because it's not tricky or sneaky, but I think it's thoughtful in that
thoughtful.
You don't have to worry about.
You guys made sunscreen cool again. And that's truly one of the hardest things that you can do. Is make it a product that people are like, I want this,
And all mineral, too.
And all mineral.
I think,
it's insane.
Because it's so necessary. Yeah. It's such a, it's the basis, should be the basis of your skincare routine. And so we had to find ways that people are eager to live in it and to use it and to not have to think, you don't have to go, gosh, I've got to do this and this and this. Well, it's not a
chore
it for you.
anymore.
It's not a chore. It's something you want to do.
Yeah, it's something you want to do. And I think for me, one of my favorite products that you guys have is the Glow. Because, a lot of clients are like, okay, well, like, some of the other lines that we carry, they're a little thicker and heavier. And they're like, I don't know how it's going to look underneath my makeup. Because a lot of people, we're in the industry, so we're usually, wearing our flex every day.
That is it.
But for, my clients that want to wear makeup to work or whatever it is, like it's so hard to get them to wear it underneath. And so when, the glow for me is what I love. I say it's like the Charlotte Tilbury Flawless Filter Dupe. It looks the exact same. It's like, why would you not want to wear it, underneath your makeup? It looks the same. It works the same, but it's sunscreen and it's acne safe. I mean, it's just amazing. And so being able to run and grab that and not be like, oh, I'm putting on just like a sunscreen.
A big heavy layer of something.
It's really nice. And it just enhances your makeup and just makes it so easy. And I love to. So I have a lot of moms that come to see me and they have daughters around your daughter's age. And that's like their first like makeup experience is like getting a tinted sunscreen, like, and being able to get a lip gloss that has sunscreen in it. Like it brings tears to my eyes because it's such a girlhood like moment. Like it's one of those things that you remember, the first foundation you got, you remember, like it's one of those pivotal points in every woman's life, I think.
It is.
And it's just so cool to be able to have it be sunscreen,
and it's healthy for them too. It's like not, doing the good thing insteid of like,
and it's creating good habits. Like I love my mom to death, of course, but she made me hate sunscreen because I think it's one of those things like, same thing with me trying to get back into church and stuff. Like as a kid, like you see sunscreen and going to church, it's like a chore. It's like, so in your head, it has this negative connotation of like doing something you don't want to do. And so being able to like have something that is so fun and easy to do. I mean, it's amazing. And I'm just so excited about this shade because I know every single person that wears it is just going to feel so beautiful and confident in it. And we all have it on right now. We probably need to reapply.
We probably do need to reapply.
Did you bring it? Excited.
I do. I've got it in my secret pocket. Yep. Yeah. And my daughter.
So smooth. And
it's so good.
And I'm not, so I was like, Trish, walk me through why I need to wear a lip liner, right? Because I'm not a lip liner. I'm not a lip liner. So she was taking me through. But even for those who don't wear a lip liner,
you
like,
you don't, It's just one of those that is always in your bag. It's ready to go whenever you're ready to go. And it looks good with everything. And I think that was such a big piece for me. It was, we want everyone to be able to wear it all day, every day. And it's not going to be too pink or too mauve or too
rosy. Look how different it looks
on all of us.
It's so crazy. Yeah, Sierra, one of the girls that works for me, it looked like it pulled darker on her and then it's a little lighter on me. It's just so
And it
cool.
pulls a little cooler on you.
Yeah. I mean, it's stunning. I think we hit the nail on the head with this one.
I think so.
You did. It's going to be
excited.
So it's available in October.
Yes.
And I think it's going to be one of those that, like you said, people are going to want one for their purse. They'll want one for their bathroom counter.
Oh, that's me.
Gifts.
Gifts. Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Are y'all like that? If like this is so crazy, but I'll buy like 5 of the same lip liner because I have one in my purse, one at home, and then I have one at my desk, and then I just have them everywhere.
Yes.
Yep.
Yeah.
I'm the not with lip liner, but with my brushes, with my anything that I like. Perfume.
Yes, little
anything that I like.
You gotta have it everywhere.
Yeah.
You never know when you need it.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. But we are so excited, and it's been an honor to do this with you.
It has been an honor for me too.
Yeah. It's exciting. So everybody be on the lookout for October when it goes.
Sell it out.
Yeah. Well, it will.
I'm so excited.
It will. Yeah. I feel like our I don't know that we could have forecasted it.
Right. I don't think so either.
High enough, but you're right. It's such a good shade. It's so complimentary on every skin tone. It works so well with the color bombs.
Yeah. And whatever you're wearing too, like, casual, dressed up. It
can go anywhere.
It goes with everything.
Love that. So explain to everyone why we went from 35 to 30, because I know that's going to be a question. And then also our follow-up question is, are all of them going to change and have the new peptide formulation?
Yes. So great question. So they will all have the same formulation. So we have reformulated all of them to be our, peptide lip shine SPF 30. So yes, it did go from 35 to 30. And part of that was we wanted to rebalance the formula. We wanted to still have that zinc oxide in there powering the SPF, but we really wanted to juice up the peptide. We wanted to still maintain a high respectable SPF level, but we wanted to give it more hydration, more comfort, and add more of that peptide. So we just had to rebalance things a little bit. And in doing so, we said it has to be a 30. We really want it to stay.
And that makes literally no difference. Going from a 35 to 30.
It doesn't.
And like at all. Because even going from a 30 to a 50, it's like, what, 2%, 3%?
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
So we said, still let's go with the 30, but let's take some of those good for you skincare ingredients and let's add more of those, boost them, give it more concentration. And everyone I know that's tried it has asked.
Love the formula.
Well, I mean, that's the thing. I didn't even know. And I was like, I mean, it's so good. I'm like, I think it's in my head. I was like gaslighting myself. I'm like, it's because it's yours. It's because it's yours. That's why you like it more. And then when you guys told me, I was like, oh, that makes sense. It really does have some extra. And you can tell. I mean, it's not a small difference. It's a big difference.
It's a big difference.
I didn't think it could get better.
It totally got better.
And it's so fun when there's something that, like, I mean, you don't think
when you think you
better.
already love something and it can't get better, and then it does. And
it's like the best. It's like the best reward.
A little cherry on top.
It is.
Yeah.
I'm so excited.
Yeah. So it will be all of the shades. So, everyone's shades that they know and love, it will be in the new formula, and it's going to, colors are the same. So, and we have a new one. We have, this new one. We have some other limited edition ones that sometimes get sprinkled in there for holidays. So,
yeah, but I think this one is going to be like,
it's so good.
This is
by far
popular.
The most loved.
Yeah. It's limited edition at launch, but I have a feeling like
we can have it forever.
I
hopefully.
think
We'll see. Guys got to buy it so we can send them a million emails saying we want Savanna shade forever.
Forever and ever.
But I mean, I truly think it just fits in the Colorescience family so well, because when you look at the shade portfolio, like you guys hit it with, having that champagne color, which that's other than Savanna, I think champagne's my favorite. Yeah. I say that. I'm like such a liar. I love pink. I love them all.
Yeah.
Pink is so good. I love
really
pink.
Good.
I know. So it's good because it's so funny. When I was thinking about what color I wanted to do with you guys, and I thought I wanted magenta, I thought I wanted to do something like that. I had a client come in and she was like, I really like all of the lip shine idea. She was like, I just feel like, it's either too pink or like the rose is too like this or
too mauvey.
Yeah. And so when we came to this, I'm like, this is going to be so for her. I can't wait to give it to her and be like, here you go. This is like literally what you wanted,
Yeah.
Just something that's easy, wearable, day to day. It's not too much. It doesn't make you feel self-conscious or having too much attention. It's very demure. It's very cute.
Very demure. Yes.
That's probably going to be so over that trend.
And you can layer it, but you can the fact that you can layer it and make it a little bit deeper, make it a little bit lighter,
whatever
wear it with all these different,
I mean, I love it because with you, it has like a little bit more of like a sheen and like very, not clear, but it just looks like your lips, but better.
Yeah.
And then on Trish, like it looks like a little bit deeper, which I like. I like both. I mean, it's so cool.
It's great. Yeah,
and
like
then you can add more.
It's you. Or with your favorite lip eye, or like we're talking about color bomb to change it up.
I love it underneath or on top of blush.
Yes.
I know. Have y'all tried doing like eyeshadow with your color bombs?
Yes.
I love doing that too.
Yes. Yeah.
It's so fun.
And I color bomb and then use the Beauty on the Go.
I love the Beauty on the Go.
Oh, see, and I do opposite.
Do you?
Yes.
You do Beauty on the Go and then color
bomb? Because I like to have like the powder, the dry, and then I like to go back
and
with the cream.
It's the Patrick Tom method.
It is. But which I didn't know was the Patrick Tom method.
I'm going to have to try that.
Because it brings some of that like skin type of look back to your cheeks or back to your eyes. Or
I love that.
Yeah, it sort of takes it from powder,
I've been doing
finish,
it all wrong.
to then adding that over the top. And I do it with the brush. I think how you'd pick it up with the brush,
yes,
right?
I do.
To do your cheeks. Yeah. So you can still pick it up with the brush and do it over.
Yeah, I totally do color bomb and then I do powder on top. So now I need to switch
it the other way, and then you have to call me and say,
look at
this
me.
worked,
I look
or
amazing now because I'm doing the Trish method.
I love it.
It's Patrick.
It's the Patrick Tom X Trish.
The X Trish
collab.
Okay. Yeah. I didn't market it.
Okay.
He did. He gets it.
Okay.
So tell us a little bit more about the peptides.
Yeah. So we are using a palmitoyl tripeptide 1. I think I have that one right. I get all my peptides mixed up sometimes. But it is great for helping to hydrate, helping to, plump, all the things that we're talking about. Boost collagen. Yeah. So peptides are so cool, as you know, because there are literally thousands of them. And they are, as we know, like small chain, they're amino acids. They build proteins, link up and build proteins. But it's cool because you can upregulate things, you can downregulate things. So you can, use them like in a really good concentration. They're little messengers, telecommunicators. And so what I love about putting a peptide in something like this is that peptides work when you're constantly putting them on, constantly using them. Because if you think about them being little messengers, they're only sending messages when they're on your skin.
One time and think it's fine.
You've got to be consistent. They need consistency. So something like this is something that you want to use as your treatment, is something that you want to use so that you're constantly sending those messenger molecules. But I think, the end result is truly you're building collagen. So it's going to feel great when you put it on the first time.
Yeah.
But you'll notice with more and more wear that you start, for me, I start seeing less of the lip line. They just start looking a little bit more plump, a little more youthful, just full.
Which is so cool too, because like my biggest thing, like before you guys had this, I'd use my like sunscreen chapstick, but then I didn't have any color payoff with it, and it just wasn't fun to wear. And then it's just that's all it is. It's just a sunscreen chapstick. And so I think what is so amazing about this is it's like the Total Eye 3-in-1.
Absolutely.
But for your lips. It's a lip 3-in-1. Like you're going to get the peptides, you're going to get the hydration. So you have that anti-aging component, you have the hydration component, you have the sunscreen, and then it literally looks like a lip gloss. And I think that's my biggest thing. I tell people, I'm like, especially with the color bombs too, I'm like, if it looks like blush, but it is actually sunscreen, why would you not choose this over everything else? Like you're doing your skin a service and you're getting the color payoff. It's just like a no-brainer.
Right.
It's a no-brainer. Yeah. And that's what I love too, is like we've often said, it's the only sunscreen that you're going to wear that like the sunscreen's going to make you look better immediately. But as you are wearing it, your skin is getting healthier, not just because it's protecting against UV and solar spectrum, but because Trish infuses it with skincare ingredients that are going to act like skincare. So it's really multifunctional.
So cool.
Yeah.
I mean,
I agree.
it's honestly the best thing ever. Yeah. I mean, it so is. And it's made all my clients more compliant with wearing sunscreen, which is like the biggest thing. You, again, aren't going to want to reach for it if it's going to make you have a white cast, or if it's going to make you greasy, or if it's going to make you break out, or if it smells like sunscreen and that turns you off. Because a lot of people I love the smell of sunscreen. It's my favorite smell. But some people don't like it, like they are deterred from that. And so it truly looks so good. And the other thing too is it looks so good in person. It looks good on camera. Like it just blends into your own.
It wears well and translates well.
Yes.
And I think we spent as much time probably perfecting that part as we do the formulation piece itself, making sure that
amazing.
And you mentioned compliance. I think that's truly how, when we started thinking about multifunctional products, that's where it came from. Because, I mean, I've been there. You go through this cycle of, okay, what don't I like about my skin? For me, it's hyperpigmentation and melasma. And other things too, as I'm getting older, let's be honest. But my main thing is hyperpigmentation and melasma. But if I'm constantly coming to you and saying, please help me with this, please help me with this, please help me, and you're saying you need to wear sunscreen every day, but I'm not because I don't like it. If you could tell me about a product, or we could create a product that is going to immediately correct the appearance of that, which is why someone reaches for foundation or why they reach for something tinted. If you could immediately help to correct the appearance of that, you could also treat it with, scientifically proven, clinically proven raw materials and treatment products, and at the same time protect it from ongoing damage. It makes compliance easy. Yes. It makes it easy. Yeah. And ultimately, we're looking for simple solutions to help with, those kind of concerns. So I think we try to put that approach on everything we do. How do we help with compliance? How do we help with outcomes? How are we thinking about that outside of the color and the texture? And
they're all important. Like when you think about compliance and usage,
look at Fee's reapplying too.
Oh, yay! I love it.
She just pulled out her Savanna and just
I'm just so excited for this. I cannot wait for everyone to get their hands on it.
Yes, us too.
It's going to be so good. Oh my goodness. Like I still don't think I've grasped it yet. Maybe one day, but it's so special to me. And
it's special to us too.
I mean, it's truly like, I never thought I'd have an opportunity like this. And I know little Savanna is like internally freaking out.
Cheering you on.
She had more confidence, I swear. Like little me, oh my God, she'd have been like running circles around the room.
She would have been like, of course we made a shade.
Yeah,
why wouldn't you make a shade called Savanna?
I know.
Why did it take so long?
And it's so sad that like, you know, not to get like super off topic, but like when you're a kid, like before the world judges you, like you just have this like confidence, like, you know, you just are so built up. And then, you know, it's so sad to see, like, as you get older, it's just like after you get kicked so many times, like you start to lose that sparkle. But I think it also makes us human, and it also, you know, makes us not have a huge ego. And that's like something I told my therapist, I'm like, I love that. I have a little bit of imposter syndrome because I don't think I would like myself too much if I had it.
You're like, I
truly could understand and grasp, you know, the influence and everything I've done, like I would probably be unbearable and it's very sufferable. So I'm happy.
We were talking about this, right? I think it's the thing that sometimes drives us to keep going, and to ask
trying to be better.
Yeah, trying to be better and to be curious and to ask the questions and have that relatability. I think it's just so important. And you're right. I look back and I look even at my daughter. I'm sure you do this with Addie, and I've always said the one thing that I wish I could keep for her as she grows up is her confidence. Yeah. It's the one thing. And you start seeing when those comparisons and those things, you know, start to happen, they just start to second guess. And I think ultimately we all know who that person is that we are, or who we want to be, and we don't want to feel ashamed about it. But it's the judgment, and it's that, and it's so hard to grasp that. So we, you know, I hope that through this shade that we have co-developed, and you know, through other Colorescience products, that we make it easier to have those chin-up moments and to have that confidence and to be able to make good decisions for, you know, for our skin. That's just going to make us feel better about
our health.
Yeah. And it's so amazing to see, like, this may be a personal, brand personal question, but do you feel like this year for you guys, the company, I feel like it's grown so much? I think, you know, people are kind of straying away from, you know, doing as much like lash extensions and like matte makeup. And, you know, I think we're just coming back to women feeling beautiful in their own skin and less is more approach, which I really love. And I think, you know, you guys have been such a good brand for that. It's because it doesn't overdo it. You know, it's good for your skin. It matches to you. It's not overdone. It's just like your skin,
not
but better.
Compromising a health element. It's making it better and healthier as you're wearing it versus, you know, like, oh, this looks great, but I'm going to pay the price for that night of whatever, or those lashes that I've kept on for months now. Yeah,
I really love how I think not just our industry, but just women in general are really embracing that natural look and just really feeling confident in their own skin. Because, I mean, I remember I used to put on, I had perfect skin when I was like 11, you know, but I felt like I needed, you're sweet, thank you. I felt like I needed all of that to like fit in or like cover it up. And it's just like so amazing to see young girls too now feeling just confident, showing up how they are.
Showing up, not trying to hide freckles, actually embracing freckles.
Yes, because they're beautiful.
Yeah. But we absolutely have grown as a brand. I think there was a time for both of us where you tell people like, oh, I work with this brand called Colorescience. And they'd be like, what's Colorescience?
Yeah.
What is that? And now anywhere you can be like, you know, I work with Colorescience. And they're like, oh my gosh, it's amazing. I've used this or that, or I've seen it on TikTok, or, you know.
Yeah.
And there's that awareness. And I think that's been the biggest benefit to us as a brand. It's not that we've changed. It's that there's a broader awareness and people go, oh my gosh, I can't believe there's a product like this, right? And now that I know about it.
Or they quickly pull out their brush or pull out their lip shine or pull something out and go, oh, I love this product. Or, oh, my dermatologist recommended this. My esthetician recommended this. It's so cool. It's weird, though, too, the number of people that go, oh, I saw your ad pop up on this. Or I saw your, I feel like I know you. Or I feel like I love that. And it's because a total lie, something popped up as they were scrolling. But it's,
oh my God.
So when we were in the car, Trisha's done a number of our educational videos that we'll use consumer facing too. So they'll be on YouTube. And Fiona was like, yeah, Mom, I was on YouTube, and then your water test video.
Your water test video came up, and I cringe every time I see it. Your hair, see, she's laughing right now.
I can't wait for Cyrus to be
so
embarrassed
blonde.
of me.
I think my hair was your color blonde.
No, I cannot imagine you blonde.
Oh, yes. I went in heavy with the highlights. I went in heavy with the highlights. But I did the water test, and I like blow it off my finger,
so cool.
and I go, yuck. And every time she'll see, yuck.
I love that.
But it's definitely, I think the amount of reach that we have had, especially over the last year, awareness. And with that, what I love from an R&D perspective comes a lot of feedback, on what's working, what's not working. And with that comes demand for other things, whether it's extensions of shade ranges.
Flex shade extensions.
Yeah. Whether it's, hey, I love this product, but it's too light for me, or I need a shade that's between this and this. That is huge because it's coming straight to the source, and we can do something about it quickly. Things like textures, like I love this product, but I wish that the texture was a little more this way, or I wish this was. We get that now, and before I think we were still getting it, but we would have to go out to get it. This is nice because it's coming to us, and it gives us even a closer bond with.
And I think what's fun, too, is it's like people who are just excited for the brand. So it's not coming to us like, you guys, you really need to change this. You need to change that. It's more like, we love you guys. And wouldn't it be cool if you did this?
Yes.
Or I would love this even more if it was slightly like this. Or could you? And it's a
very respectful
conversation.
I love that.
Yeah, it's a conversation.
They want to make the brand better because they love it.
Because they're connected.
Yeah. I love that. That's so special.
It is.
I'm so excited. I was going to see, I have a little top secret thing, so I have to ask first if I can say.
Oh, yeah. We could totally talk about that.
So dive in. Let's hear it.
So in addition to the peptide lip shine, we have a new product that is coming in, is it October, November?
Next month.
Is it next month?
It's next month.
I'm already in 2026.
September.
But we have elevated a mascara. We have, looked into all of the different things that we're constantly reaching for. You mentioned lash extensions, things like that, lash serums, lash primers. And we really wanted to deliver a product like a mascara that is one of the first products, right? That we reach for when we're the
most purchased beauty product among women is mascara.
That's fun.
And so we wanted to put the Colorescience treatment on that product. So we have created what I think is just by itself a kick-ass mascara.
Yeah.
But we have added peptides to the mascara. We have added, panthenol, jojoba.
It's like lash serum, right? So you're using the lash serum to help with lengthening and growth. You use a lash conditioner to help nourish and not have breakage and make them less brittle. And then you use the mascara for that immediate payoff, right?
I love that.
So it's like lash serum meets conditioner meets mascara.
It's a 3-in-1.
Yep. It's a 3-in-1.
But it's even cooler with what Trish did, because tell me about the tubing.
Because it's a tubing formula. So we were talking about like the weather here, for example, and just a lot of times with traditional mascaras, it's a high water content. Obviously, there are waxes in it, but like you get the dreaded raccoon eyes, or Or sometimes I even get it up here, like on my brow bone where it stamps, and it drives me crazy. And so we thought, what if we created a tubing mascara so it has that higher amount of like waxes and copolymers. And not only does that help with wear, but it also helps with delivering the treatment because it wraps each lash.
So cool.
And it stays there, stays in contact. So you've got, the benefit of the peptides. You've got the benefit of those like dark black iron oxides that give you that immediate, but it lengthens, it separates, it thickens. Yes. And we have just finished the clinical study on this.
It's amazing.
And I am so proud. I'm so pleased with the product.
From a once a day. And people are really starting to, the general population is really starting to go, okay, I care about what I put in my body. I care about what I put on my body. I'm looking for things that have this, but that they also don't have this. And so to do a lengthening product that is prostaglandin free is something we're also very proud of.
And
to get the results
No, I'm so excited for that portion because I loved my Revitalash, but I would be lying if I said I didn't look like I was sick all the time when I would use it because it made me look very like dark underneath my eyes and sunken in over time. So I was so excited about this because I'm like, now I don't have to, no compromises.
No compromises.
You don't have to lose your fat pads or get darkening under eyes. You can get the length. And it's just so cool that what I love is that you guys have made taking care of yourself and skin health and also covering and looking good so easy because so many of us, I didn't realize this obviously until I was a mother. There's not a lot of time for you to take care of yourself, once you have a toddler and kids in general. I mean, it's hard. And so being able to be like, okay, I put mascara on every single day, that just takes a step away. Even if you think 5 seconds means the most, right? So not having to worry about doing my lash serum at night because I already did it in the morning or XYZ, just makes life so much easier and smoother. And it's just it adapts to your lifestyle.
I think too that for me personally, I'm not a makeup artist type. I totally appreciate watching some amazing videos and I'm like, that looks fantastic. But for me to try to replicate that would not be good, right? Like it would not probably turn out. So to be able to have something that is easy and quick, but also is just very user-friendly and you can still look great and you don't have to be a makeup artist.
I love that.
It's putting a spin on things that are products that we're reaching for anyway. Also. And they don't require some crazy learning curve. They don't have this very specific. It's just
even up in Allcom have a little bit of direction to them, but I think that's probably
fair enough.
I love that.
Yay.
Yeah. Okay. Do you guys have any other closing thoughts?
Really just gratitude for you and appreciation. Like I said, this project was very special to us, and I think it's because it does hit on aligned core values, but I so appreciate what I've written this to you and I've said it before, but I think I say it on this too, but the fact that you are vulnerable enough to, because you're putting it out there, you're wanting to empower everybody, but I also think you're doing a lot for our industry. The step up for me, where starting as an esthetician, it's just, I'm so proud of estheticians right now. I'm just I'm so proud of the step up, the elevation, the empowerment, we're going to own our own businesses too, just all of that. And you are a big voice in that. So thank you.
Thank you guys. I am so excited and I can't wait for the community to be able to try this. And
thank you for collaborating with us.
Thank you guys.
It was a joy.
It was
really so fun.
It was so fun. Let's do it again.
Yes.
Okay.
Deal. Buy more shades.
Okay.
All right, guys. I'm about to take them to Joe T. Garcia's.
Yum.
And if you're a Texan listening, you guys know they sell it like the salsa at the grocery stores here. That's
really?
how good it is. Yes.
I can't wait.
You may have to pack some in your...
Maybe. Oh, yeah. No, we can buy some. Take it. I'll ship you some. But we love you guys. Thank you so much. And make sure you get your Savanna shade.
Yes.
Bye.
Thank you. Bye.